So hi, welcome to Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with,
Jared, aka Veins.
and we're asking some questions today. I'm going to start. So what inspired the creation of the project, and what does the project name mean?
The creation of the project was actually, I wrote a song for someone else, and they didn't want it, and so I said I will just use it myself.
Fair enough.
And the name came from my old manager. My last name is Gaines, spelled the same way with a G. And my old manager, we were looking for a name for months, and he said, hey, why don't we go with Veins? And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's like my name. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, it's like my last name. He's like, what's your last name? I was like, dude, you've been my manager for 2 years. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
That wasn't intentional? Yeah. So congratulations on your newest EP, Electric Blue. How do you feel the response to it so far?
It's been awesome. It just feels good to put it out. I really don't care what it does once it's out.
That's fair.
If everyone hates it at the same time, it's critically flamed, it flops. I'm just like so happy that it's out because I'm just so anxious before it comes out. And then I release the music and it's out in the world. There's nothing I can do about it now.
So are you like an artist that just like once it's out, you don't care, you don't read any reviews, you don't like look at comments, none of that shit?
Oh, I look at every comment and I read every single review.
Oh, wow.
And I respond to every comment because I'm very petty. So I used to do this thing right when I got signed to Hopeless. They would put my videos up, and it was very different than what Hopeless Records normally has on their page and what they promote. And people were like, what's happening to Hopeless Records?
Oh my God.
This isn't the Hopeless Records I know. Where's all the pop punk? And everyone was like, hey man, don't read the comments. And I'm like, oh, I'm in the comments, I'm responding to all these people. I'm trying.
It's too late. Yeah.
It's too late, man.
God.
Yeah, I read everything and I watch everything, and I'm better at not taking things personally now, but yeah, oh no, I see everything.
Yeah, well, how do you make sure that doesn't like affect your mental health? Because like I can't read too much negative shit without being like, God, I suck at everything.
Being on TikTok helps because everyone hates you on TikTok regardless of what you do. So I think like knowing that what helps is that the only time people comment on something that I'm doing, it's never anything like very personal about me. When I come out with a song or I come out with something that someone doesn't like, they're like, this song sucks. And I was like, well, I wasn't born with this song. So
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
it's just something I made. You don't have to like it. As long as they're not like, this guy seems like he'd be a bad friend. I'm like, oh, that hurts
just
my
untrue.
feelings more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
So it's
yeah.
not anything personal. So I'm just like, it's fine.
That makes sense. All right.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I get that.
So is there any meaning behind the EP name or the cover art?
Yeah, the EP name comes from the song "Closer to You," which is the first song I wrote on the EP. And it's kind of just like it's like a symbol for the feeling. The whole EP is kind of about dealing with mental health issues at the same time as trying to have a healthy and stable relationship with someone. And the lyrics to "Closer to You," the chorus is paralyzed, electric blue is a feeling I will never lose. And it's just kind of, it's just what, to me, my mental health like feels like. If I try to envision it, it just feels like I'm in a dark room and there's like this, I imagine like a big neon light that just blinks in my face. And it's like, you'll never, ever be rid of me. I'll be here for forever. Like I'm depression sign. I'm a neon depression sign. And that's like kind of where it comes from. But the whole EP is not about like sulking and being like at the mercy of the thing. It's kind of overcoming it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Very cool.
And the cover art.
and the cover art is blue. The cover art, I'm kind of I'm based in LA, but right now I'm back home for the pandemic in northern New York. And I had this big lofty idea of what I wanted to do with the cover art, and it just couldn't be done with like the scenario we were in. So we made do, and a very awesome and friendly photographer in New York said that he would do like a photo shoot with me and try to help with the cover art. And it just, we went there and it was a good time. So whatever came out of it was going to be fine with me. And then we finally got it. And I was like, this is awesome. It's just very simple. And I was in love with it.
All right.
That's good.
Just kind of killed it.
What was that original idea that you weren't able to do at the time?
The original idea was I wanted to get, and this didn't make it very far because of like the difficulty of it, but I wanted to get like a photo shoot done, and then I wanted to render whatever our favorite photo was in an oil painting by somebody. Okay. And then the shadow of my shadow would have like electricity sparks coming out of it.
Okay.
And we kind of did that with the art now. It's like there's a little bit of electricity in the shadow. Mm-hmm. So I was like happy with that. But the original idea was much more of like a dramatic kind of image I had in my head. And then someone was like, I don't think we can get that done right now because there's a global crisis. And I'm like, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
That's fair.
All right. Oh, would you ever consider doing, when you have the chance to do it, if you ever do, would you ever think about doing like an alternative cover and it's the original idea?
I'm thinking, so like I said earlier, as soon as I put something out, I'm on to the next one.
Oh, yeah.
And I have this idea for what I think the next record is going to be. And I think it would be a really good idea to use some of the elements that I wanted to do on the cover for this one and just use it for the next one. So I'm already starting. I'm in the early plannings of what the next record's going to be like, and that's definitely making an appearance at some point.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Well,
that's
hopefully
good.
you don't shoot the next cover art in the middle of a global pandemic, so you can pull that all
Yeah,
off.
hopefully we just like don't. Hopefully by the time I do that won't be a problem. But who knows?
Yeah, at
Who
this
knows?
point.
Exactly.
Who knows?
So can you tell me a little bit about your writing process for this record?
Yeah, the writing process. This was not traditionally like produced or tracked or written at all. I wrote the first song, "Closer to You," in 2019, and then released a bunch of like just kind of sat on it and released a bunch of singles as I wrote them. So I just kind of was running and gunning singles. Any song that you heard after that, aside from my song "She's Not You," was kind of like done and then finished and then released. And the record label wanted an EP and I wanted an EP pretty badly. And I just wasn't satisfied with any of the songs to accompany that song "Closer to You." And then one day I wrote the song "Disappear," track 3. And I immediately knew what the EP was going to be about. And it all just kind of came to me. But over the course of months, I wrote everything. And then I would get a demo at my house done because I kind of pride myself on doing a lot of the production on the songs. And then I went into the studio with this producer named Courtney Ballard, who like crushed the EP, did such a good job. And we just kind of like, as we finished them up, as we had time, kind of got them together, which helped out because I feel like I have an EP that's 5 songs that I'm super, super proud of. And I don't think there's any time when I'm listening to the EP where I feel like I could have done better because I got to spend so much time on it. So I guess like that was cool with the pandemic. I got to spend way more time than I should have been able to spend like writing and doing the EP. So that's kind of how the process was.
Are you an artist that like the only way you're going to put it out is if the last project the newer project outdoes the last one? So how exactly are you going to top something that you think is currently perfect?
Yeah.
No.
You can't just give me that. I struggled to get the question out.
Come on.
That's something I talk to like my family about a lot. My family is like really like fascinated by me doing music, and they're like, "Do you ever get scared that you like wrote a song and you'll never be able to top it?" And I'm like, so often. And so I wrote I snapped my streak of not being able to top the last song with the EP. I have 5 songs. I'm like, these are the best songs I've ever written. These are awesome. And then I'm going into writing some new stuff, and I'm like, how am I going to even beat one of the songs, let alone all 5?
Yeah.
I don't know. and I have to beat whatever I just did for myself to be like satisfied. It doesn't have to be overall better. I just feel like I have to beat something about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I tend to just kind of hit my head against the wall for hours and hours and hours. And I'm like, it's not good enough. And I like crumple up pages and throw them at the wall all dramatically.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You'll do it. You'll do it.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Easy.
Thanks, guys.
I want you to pick your favorite lyric off this EP and tell us the meaning behind it.
Favorite lyric off the EP is, I'm uncomfortable to ask you if you'll stay. Am I just using you to make me feel okay? Which is on Closer to You. Closer to You is like the song that is the EP for me. Mm-hmm. Whole thing was based off of that. And it is about, like, again, falling in love with somebody, but not kind of having that same emotion for yourself. Struggling with mental health, it's kind of hard to see yourself as someone who can be loved. And then when you try to love somebody else, you don't have the same love for yourself. And it's just kind of like this whole like head case thing that's very confusing, and it makes you second guess things. So I wrote that lyric, and it kind of unlocked the whole song. We grinded that song out for days and days and days. We couldn't write anything to the instrumental because it was so good. Mm-hmm. And it's the only instrumental on the whole EP that I didn't write. I just showed up and it was there for me. And I was like, this is a masterpiece. Perfect. I don't know how to write over this. So it just took so long. And then I wrote that line in the second verse, which was originally in the first verse, and then the whole song came out, and then this whole idea for like what an EP could be came from that.
So you write the instrumental first and then your vocals?
Yeah, usually there's a couple songs that I don't do that with. My best songs, I not only write like the instrumental and the vocals at the same time, but I also write the music video with it.
Oh wow!
Like as I go.
Wow.
My song "She's Not You," which just kind of came out at an inopportune time. But I remember I was writing that, and I wrote that like a couple years before I got signed to Hopeless, and I was writing the lyrics and the instrumental kind of together, switching the chords and going into new things, and then imagining the scene that was playing out with what the music video would be. So those that's like the best songs I write. Like I get finished with those, I'm like, oh my god, yes, this is the one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All of the songs on the EP I finished instrumentally first, because I knew it was going to be very guitar heavy, and there's going to be a lot of riffs and a lot of like fun guitar stuff, and it was easy for me to get in there and like write around the guitar and then put vocals on afterwards. But that's kind of not usually how I do it, but that is how I did it for this EP.
All right. Okay.
That's impressive. Just how you knock out everything for a song. Well, usually in like one go.
Yeah, and I don't ever finish a song that I started and didn't finish right when I wrote it. I start a song, and if it's not done within like, I would say probably a 24-hour period of me finishing it, then it doesn't ever come out.
Wow.
I don't ever
That's
finish
really
it.
strict.
It's just like, so originally I thought maybe I was a genius. I was like, that's what's going on. I must be a lyrical genius, that if I don't finish it, it's just not good enough. And then I found out it's because I'm not that good of a songwriter. It's just, that's it. I'm like, I can't finish it after 16 hours because I run out of ideas.
Oh.
So, but yeah, no, and when I say I write the music video too, the music video doesn't come out. The one that I imagine in my head is not the one we ever end up going with, because talented video people come in and say, here's what I see for the video. And I go, yep. We'll do that one. I tried to do my own music video for my song Summer's Over. And what I saw in my head was one thing. And then what we were able to do on screen with me kind of spearheading the project.
Not the same. Yeah.
Wouldn't recommend it. Yeah. Wouldn't recommend. I should have given the director a little bit more leeway, you know? I was like, what? You can't see my thoughts? Idiot.
Even the director's like, wow, this sucks.
What am I paying you for?
I'm so glad I'm getting paid for this.
Yeah. We paid him like criminally low money. He was just happy to be there, you know.
Oh,
Me and him talk all the time. He's a good guy.
okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. We're friends.
All right. So what song off this EP took the longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Closer to You took the longest to write. It took 3 days, which directly violates the rule that I just set up.
I was just about to say, yeah, come on, already breaking it.
Which is why it was so hard, you know. And my favorite is Heaven. Because of the vibe I was able to create with it. It reminds me of like the early 2000s kind of. There's this like fake drum beat, like almost like kind of like Ja Rule featuring Ashanti kind of beat with the piano in the background. And maybe it reminds me of that. And I remember while I was making it, I was like, oh, I hope it ends up sounding like this. And then I made the demo and I was like, oh, it sounds like that. Yes.
I did it. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
Make a win.
Yeah. It's very gratifying to listen to now. And then I took it into the studio and it just got that much closer to that. So those are the Closer to You took a long time, and Heaven was done. I finished Heaven in like 6 hours, I think. Wow. I just started it and then finished the whole thing. And when I say finished, I mean, I was done with the whole instrumental, verse 1, chorus, and then that's finished to me because I can do verses all day. As soon as I've established, really easy to write a verse 2 for me.
All right.
So
that's still a lot to do. So
it's a lot to sign myself up for too, because when I go up to write a song, like I have my studio upstairs, and I'll go upstairs and I'll tell my girlfriend, I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna go up and write a song real quick, and she goes, okay. And what that means for me is that I'm going to spend like 5 hours on a song, and it might get to the point at the end of the thing where I'm like, that was a really intense 5 hours for a song that no one's ever going to hear, that I'm going to close out of the project file. I'm going to bury it in the folder where I don't look at these songs anymore. Get that whole session even happened.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Cool.
So how do you prep for those like long sessions of just music writing? Do you energy drinks? Like
no. I guilt myself into a long session. I convince myself I'm not working hard enough. I go, I'm downstairs, I'm playing some sort of video game, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? And then that gives me all the fuel I need.
Okay.
Everything that I would possibly need is right there in the shame that I hold in my chest. Right there. I go, It goes, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, oh no. And then I go and I'm able to just
lock
crank
yourself
it out.
Away. Yeah.
Only cry a couple times, way less than if I were to wait like maybe 2 days in between writings.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah. It's a lot of shame and then V8 energy, actually. If
dude, yeah, I love V8 energy drinks.
Oh my God, I love V8 energy. Like
what's your favorite? Like, oh, I was just about to say that's my favorite one. Well, that and the mango one are like
the mango one's pretty solid. Here, I have a wrapper of the pomegranate blueberry.
Oh my God, yeah, I have one like right next to me. They're great.
It's my lifeblood. It's my fuel.
As it should be.
Yeah. Delicious.
So where was your headspace at while you were writing this EP?
I never realized actually how maybe sometimes dark it can get when I'm writing. I never think about like when I'm done and I look back, I think, man, I think I was going through like a tough time. This like EP is kind of about a heavy topic, you know? And I think I was actually doing a lot better when I was writing this than I normally am writing. Usually I use music as kind of a tool to help myself.
Yeah.
And it's just worked. And every time I write something, it gets better. And I think that's why I feel like I can level up after everything I write is I just feel like I'm like figuring myself out and kind of fixing myself as I go along. So writing Electric Blue is like, I think it's the first time I wrote something that was like really hopeful and like intently hopeful, where I specifically wanted like the track listing even to tell a story about like in Acid Trip, I have a bad relationship with somebody, and then track 2, I'm really depressed and I don't want anyone to help me out. And then track 3, I'm starting to ask for help. Closer to You, track 4, I'm starting to get closer to somebody, obviously. And then Heaven, I've fully committed to being in a relationship with somebody despite what is going on with me. I like kind of leave my destiny up to somebody else, and is like really hopeful. And then like the vibe gets more bright as it goes along as well. Like Heaven's like a really kind of happy, upbeat song. Like it's like a nervously upbeat, happy song. So I think Headspace for that one, I feel like was a little bit brighter than normal, I would say.
Okay.
I'm so happy to hear that. That's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's really good. So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this record for the first time? Should they like turn off the lights, put on some headphones, and just kind of listen to it? Should they go on a road trip with friends? Should they put it on at a party? What do you think?
They should just be coming off an uncomfortable confrontation with their father.
Okay.
You should definitely hit up your dad and tell him like, hey, when I was 6, you told me I couldn't go to the park and I really wanted to. And you go, why are you bringing this up to me? And you're like, because I want to start a fight. And then you argue with your dad about it, and you guys come to an understanding, but an uncomfortable understanding, to where now when you go to family dinners, it's like weird, and maybe he apologizes more for things that he doesn't feel like he should, and it's kind of like a weird thing. Then you listen to my EP, and then while you're listening to my EP, you're kind of distracted. Like there's this thing going on with your dad, and then you get done with the EP, and you're like, that was awesome, but I should honestly talk to my father.
That was oddly specific.
That was, but I get it.
That's how I most recently digested it. So I think that's how.
I kind of figured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Next question.
Yeah.
So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe the EP for new listeners in 3 words, no more, no less.
Oh my God. Oh my God, does that work? No.
I mean, it's kind of cheap.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. It's, and that's not one of the words. Damn. Oh God. Oh man. Okay.
Okay.
Thought the forward is gonna be shit.
Shred City, bro.
That's not at all answer.
Shred City, bro.
It's good.
Shred City, bro.
Yeah, that's
I'll
good.
take it. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Critically acclaimed songwriter Vane struggles to come up with 3 words to describe his EP. That's gonna be the headline.
I was thinking, like, do I say something for real or do I be funny? Oh God. I was like, oh, introspective.
Not that.
No.
Shred City, bro. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
yucky. Let's get away from it. Shred City, bro.
Yeah, that's good. It's good.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite memory that you made while creating this record?
My favorite memory that I made while creating this record. I think it's gotta be, so when I went to go do the final song, I did Heaven. I was already in New York. I had already moved back for the pandemic, and I had to fly back out to finish out the EP. I flew out, and we were at the studio, and it was a new studio. It was Courtney's new place, and it had been a while since I'd been back home. So it felt good to be in LA for a little bit. And the day that I tracked it, we finished it up. It sounded great. I felt really good about it. I was nervous because of how well done the demo was. I really felt like I killed the demo, and I was scared that it was going to change in the studio.
As you should,
And then I went back to my friend Patrick's house, and we bought Digimon cards, and we opened up Digimon cards for a YouTube video.
Oh.
And everything felt good. Everything was okay.
That's good.
Is that Bestie Pat from Not My Weekend?
That is Bestie Pat from Not My Weekend.
We love Pat here.
He is a bestie here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Patrick. He lives at my old house. I moved him to where I was living because he wanted to move to LA, and I was getting out anyway. So I was like, "You want to live here? You want to live at my house?" So he lives in my old bedroom. And so we opened Digimon cards up at my old house, which is now Pat's new house.
That's amazing.
I love it.
Full circle.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it made me feel good because I was like, I gave you this house. So
exactly. You wouldn't be here if this wasn't for me.
Extra awesome. I was like, I just like totally recorded the song of the century and I gave a guy a house. How cool.
Like fucking famous or whatever.
Basically Oprah.
Dude. Oh my God. I'm like, good things are going to happen to me.
Hell yeah. So picture this. You're on tour. You're at a gas station. For a rest stop, what is your snack of choice?
Snack of choice at a restaurant is depending on whether or not I am trying to stay in shape on tour. Not usually. I go for the mini donuts.
Yeah.
I go for the powdered mini donuts. It's very weird. I didn't know that about myself. I've done one tour ever.
Mhm.
And I went out and I didn't know what I was going to be like on tour. I didn't know what my hacks were going to be. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a Gatorade Propel.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Wait, whoa. What flavor Propel, though?
That would be the kiwi strawberry.
As it should be. That's their best flavor.
There you go.
The kiwi strawberry Propel and a pack of Pouty donuts. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just feel alive. And then sometimes I feel like I want to go like salty with it, but I don't get rid of the donuts. I add a family size bag of cheddar sour cream ruffles.
Ooh,
there you go.
Taste. Yeah.
And you know what? And smells in the van, in whatever vehicle we're in, because you pop open a cheddar sour cream ruffles and everyone's smelling it.
Everybody knows.
And now everyone
knows
some, but you don't want to give them any.
Yep. And then someone in the back is going, Jared, are you cheesing it again? And I'm like, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're gonna do it's my tour, dude.
Exactly.
I'll cheese when I want to. I'll drop you off in Oklahoma.
Exactly.
And you're not getting paid. Fuck you.
You're not getting paid, dude. Get out of here, Pat.
You're done. Oh.
Fuck you, Pat.
Pat. God. Where do you see the project in the next 5 years?
So what I was going to say is that's a funny question because the only other thing I had going on today, other than taking my dad to Lowe's, was we had a meeting with a potential publishing partner.
Okay.
And we were looking at the deal term, and the deal term was for 6 years. And then me and my manager talked about where I see myself in 6 years. And the term I used was Titan.
Okay.
I said Titan, and I said that for myself because what you do is you go, you swing for the fences. But if you get like a double, you just get to second base. I mean, everyone claps still. They all, and sometimes you aim for the fences, you strike out, and people still give you claps. They're like, "Hey,
exactly.
man, way to go!
You tried
your
best
for it, you know."
Exactly.
Yeah. You aim for the greatest artist of all time,
of course,
and maybe you land at greatest artist of the generation. Who knows?
That's pretty good.
Who knows? So I said Titan. I think I would be really, really happy if in 5 years I was just like low key respected by people who do music. I don't really care as much about what I don't seek like validation from like fans or numbers on social media. Like I'm very happy with having like less than 3,000 followers on Instagram. My validation is I want other people who do what I do to like consider me someone who can hang. I was in the studio working on a band's EP with them, and when I left, the next guy that came in to work, they said that they like called me back and they were like, just so you know, your guitar work that you did was better than anybody else who came in to do guitar work on the record. They had like a lot of guitar people, and I was like, that feels so good. That's all I want is to know someone somewhere went, yeah, that Vainsy was really good at guitar. That's all I want. That's it. So little. So if I end up not being the next Prince, I will take being remembered fondly.
Oh yeah. So just like some sort of legacy within the industry.
Some sort of, yeah, it's just a little bit of a little bit of recognition for being super duper awesome.
There you go.
That's good.
Answer.
I like that a lot. That's good.
So for the last couple questions, we're actually going to shift away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Oh, with a drink, I appreciate that.
You get to wash it down with something.
I get to wash it down. That's so nice. I'm on death row. What are my crimes?
Treason.
Treason.
Mhm.
Being
Treason
too
most
awesome.
Being too awesome and treasoning.
Yeah.
Well, if it's treason,
Mhm.
treason is like, I would say probably like a barbecue of some sort. I think
Okay.
you barbecue after treason.
Yeah, definitely.
Because treason, it doesn't happen quickly. I think barbecue takes time, and so does
It
treason.
does. Exactly.
So I'd probably go like with a smoked brisket sandwich,
Mm-hmm.
maybe some coleslaw,
Mm-hmm.
maybe some cornbread.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I would wash it down because we're being indulgent here. This is the last meal. I would wash it down with like a root beer float, I think.
Oh, so true.
There you go.
That's good.
Mhm.
That's good.
And then when
okay.
they electrocute me, they're like, that was a lot of food, man.
We are going to have a
They're like,
lot
how
of
did you
cleanup.
do that? And I'm like, well, I'm scared for my life.
Exactly. Let me eat. So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Oh, one fictional world for a week.
Mhm.
Oh boy, I would live in the. I'm like kind of a nerd, but I'm like such an all-encompassing nerd. I'm a nerd about like everything that you could possibly be a nerd about a
As
little
you should
bit.
be. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm struggling between saying like the Marvel comic verse, not specifically the cinematic, but I feel like everyone in the comic gets a superpower eventually.
Yeah.
Especially if I have a name in the comic, if they ever list my name, I'm getting superpowers.
Yeah,
that
you're-
have to do with my name.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You're gonna have your own spin-off comic. Actually.
Yeah. Eventually, it's
Yeah.
not going to do really well, and it'll be like on the X-Men side of things, and people
Oh.
don't like that as much.
No.
Or I would say the Elder Scrolls universe. I really like fantasy,
Yeah.
like knights and dragons and things.
So true. That's an amazing pick. I love that a lot.
Yeah.
So I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question.
Oh,
What's your favorite color?
blue.
I could have only guessed.
Yeah,
You have a
this is
specific shade of blue.
Everything that he's wearing.
like a
turquoise?
cyan,
Yeah.
turquoise, aquamarine.
Oh, all the
kind of
blues.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the greener side of blue.
Mhm.
On the babier side of the greener side of blue, on the sky
Okay.
side,
Yeah.
like on the corner
Yeah.
of sky blue
Mhm.
and red foo.
Wonderful.
Banger. I hope they come back.
I really
2021's
do.
the year of comebacks. So
That was my favorite band when they dropped Party Rock Anthem. I was like, no one's ever written a better song. I was going to be a
No.
party rocker, but I didn't have the money for the outfit. I learned how to shuffle and everything.
I wish I could shuffle. I would really like
I
to bring
can't
back
dance, but I can
2011.
shuffle like
yeah.
like
That's all that matters.
That's all you
I can
need at a
shuffle with the
party.
best of them. I really think that's all
Yeah.
you need to party rock.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you
Mhm.
go.
Mhm.
But at parties, you're like the number one coolest person because that song is still
Exactly.
cool 10 years later.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
and everyone thought I was the coolest person at the party for shuffling every time that song came on.
yeah.
As they should.
As they should.
Yeah, they were all like, you know that Vangs guy? He can play guitar, but I heard
He can also shuffle. Really
he can
fucking good.
shuffle.
Shuffle.
Yeah.
Like LMFAO. Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah. I heard he memorized the whole dance from the music video of Party Rock Anthem, and he did it with his little brother so much when the song came out that he can still do it.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Just from memory.
10 whole years later.
Wow.
10 whole years later, he still got it.
Yeah.
That's
there you go.
remarkable.
Yeah,
True party rocker.
Honestly, yeah.
until I die.
As you should be.
So, as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you'd like to plug?
Yeah, everyone go stream LMFAO.
Yeah.
They deserve it, honestly.
They do.
Their nephew and uncle. I don't think people talk about that enough.
Yeah, that's
They
crazy,
don't.
right?
Yeah.
That's the craziest part of the whole
Yeah.
thing.
yeah.
I think everybody go check out Electric Blue on whatever platform, but Spotify, so I can see the numbers. And buy some merch. We just dropped some merch, and look out for more things I'm doing.
later on. Just be a fan of me, love me is all I want to say.
There you go.
Solid.
Well, thank you for sending out the Spin Veins, and we've been the Good Noise Podcast.